serving homeowners.
Welcome to Mattress Center. Jeff Mathis had a big night last night against his former team. Right now he's being bugged by the old man, Omar Vizquel. Guys having fun on the bench before the start of this game. Mathis with his second 4-hit night of his career against his former teammates.
What message is Omar trying to send to Mathis right there? He's going to be bugging him all night long.
Don't you wish you were playing so you wouldn't have to put up with me? Carlos Villanueva will go to the mound, and this is his first start of the season. So Villanueva has just made his way in from the bullpen. Mike Scioscia and the pitching coach, Mike Butcher, on the bench. And the Angels won the opener in last night's game, 9-7. They pounded out 14 hits, and the real turning point for the Angels was when they called up Mike Trout back on the 28th of April. This season against the Blue Jays, he's 7 for 21. And he's had some extra base hits, 4 in fact, and he's driven home 4. Trout and Hunter Pujols, and Albert Pujols is back. His average up to 270. Kendrys Morales makes his first start in this series. He's the DH, batting cleanup. Mark Trumbo starts in left field. Cayaspo, Kendrick Ibar, and John Hester, who started out the season in the Baltimore Orioles organization, is behind the plate.
This is Carlos Villanueva. He comes out of the bullpen to make his first start of 2012 after 22 appearances this season. 2-0 with a .324 earned run average. This is the same path that Villanueva took last year when he came out of the bullpen and gave the Blue Jays 13 starts. That time he went 5-3 in those games. Villanueva becomes the 10th different starter for the Blue Jays this season, and the pitching staff has really been hit by injuries. They are looking for 5 innings, 75 pitches from Villanueva as he starts to build up his pitch count since coming out of that bullpen. But he is a capable starter. He certainly showed that last year when he came out of the bullpen.
Mike Trout will lead things off for the Angels, and we had mentioned Trout's impact on this ball club, and he had a dramatic impact in the game last night. In the 6th inning against Brett Cecil with a man aboard, he hits his 8th home run, a 2-run shot. One of 3 home runs the Angels would hit in that ball game last night. Mike Trout for the night went 2 for 5, scored a run and drove in 2.
Impressed with his bat quickness, his bat control. He's got a very short swing and is very powerful. Look at this in 54 games, 345 for Trout.
Mike Trout, he's got everything you want in a ball player: speed, power, hits for average, and he's a good outfielder. First pitch strike from Carlos Villanueva, and we are underway. Villanueva was a savior for the Blue Jays last year, doing the same thing he's doing right now, filling in that starting rotation. Breaking ball. Villanueva. Easy play. Wow.
Take a look at the scouting report for Carlos Villanueva, brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. He's got every pitch you need as a starter. You might not need those many pitches when you're pitching out of the bullpen, but as a starter, he's got all of those. Fastball, the changeup, the slider, the curveball. He's the type of guy who also gets a little bit stronger as the game wears on. As his arm gets a little bit more tired, he's got a little bit more movement on his pitches, and he gets a little bit better feel for that changeup.
Torrey Hunter looks at one up and away. Hunter, one of the few Angels that didn't have a good night at the plate. He finished up 0 for 5 with a strikeout. Fastball upstairs, and Hunter swings right through it. Villanueva, Brad mentioned, made 13 starts last year. He went 5-3 as a starter. But he got tired at the end of that run. He just really wasn't built up to stand up to the rigors of pitching as a starter, and it caught up to him.
You know, that's exactly what happened to him last year. He did such a good job coming out of the bullpen early in the season and giving John Farrell a lot of innings, especially when the starter would get knocked out early in the ball game. And then when injuries set in and some trades came along, Villanueva had to go into the starting rotation. He just wore down. Too many pitches.
Breaking ball in the dirt.
There are the numbers that we were just talking about. The .515 earned run average. Opponents hitting .284 against him. That's about what they're looking for tonight in terms of innings per start. 5, get into the 6th inning as he starts to build up that arm strength.
2-2 to Hunter. Hopped up down the right side. Lynn will give it a look, but it's into the seats. This is the 41st start of Villanueva's career. He's been predominantly a reliever throughout his career. And just an opportunity. He's kind of what you call a swing guy. When you need a spot start here and there, he's a multiple inning reliever, so he can stretch out probably a little bit quicker than anybody else down in that pen.
Every team needs a guy like Carlos Villanueva on their pitching staff. So many things happen during the season, injuries, call-ups, trades. They need a guy who, in an emergency, can step to that mound and not lose his stuff.
And straighten up Torrey Hunter with an inside fastball. It's a full count now. Underneath the glove of Villanueva, Kelly Johnson from deep behind second throws Hunter out. Well, what a good play by Kelly Johnson. He didn't have much time. He knew Hunter runs well.
Got to really, I think, as a right-handed pitcher to a right-handed batter, take away the middle of the diamond. That's exactly what Johnson does as they pinch the middle, and it works out for the Blue Jays. He takes away a hit from Torrey Hunter. And they're going to do it again now with another right-handed batter at the plate in Pujols. They're going to pinch the middle.
Albert Pujols, his first 4-hit night of the season last night. He went 4 for 5, hit a couple of doubles and 2 singles. Pujols is familiar with Villanueva. They both spent time in the National League. Villanueva with the Brewers, and of course Pujols with the Cardinals. Albert is 8 for 25 against Villanueva with a couple of home runs.
You mentioned that 4-hit game that he had last night, his first of the season. Hard to believe because he's such a good hitter. 38th of his career. That's not hard to believe.
Off-speed pitch. He's out in front. 2-1. When we saw Albert Pujols early in the season, it was the first week of May in Anaheim. He was trying to pull everything. He hadn't had a home run yet. He had driven in just 5 runs, and he was in an emergency approach.
And you talk to all the people around the ballpark there in Anaheim. He was always the first guy to the ballpark.
How about that? Good 1-2-3 inning for Carlos Villanueva. The Angels are down in order in the first. And he is sporting a new hairdo. He got his hair cut. He is anxious to go and try to get on some kind of a roll here with the Jays. Jays are 38-38. They have slipped to 500. Top of the order has done their thing. Colby Rasmus in his last 22 games has hit .330 with some damage. 5 doubles, 8 home runs, and he's driven in 24. He's second to Jose Bautista in that department for the month of June. Bautista, Encarnacion, Kelly Johnson. You know, Escobar, Rajay Davis is in left. His average at 274. Adam Lynn still trying to get over 200. J.P. Arancibia back in the lineup tonight after Mathis had a big night at the plate last night.
Urban Santana looked for his third consecutive strong start. He threw a one-hit shutout versus Arizona on June the 16th. Followed that up with 10 strikeouts over 8 innings in his next start against the Dodgers. Now he gets the Blue Jays for the second time this season. Gave up 3 runs on just 3 hits in 8 innings versus the Blue Jays. Still lost 4-0 on May the 4th. That was out in Los Angeles.
Brett Laurie hits it hard, but right to Howie Kendrick. Kendrick was shaded up the middle.
He's got a report for Urban Santana. He's a good one. He throws a lot of innings, gets a lot of strikeouts. He basically does it with a fastball, slider, and he mixes in a changeup about 8% of the time. He had 10 strikeouts the last time out. That was the 9th time in his career that he did that. Fastball about 93 or 94. But it's a very good put-away pitch in that slider. It's almost a two-plane slider. Instead of breaking down and away to the right-handers, it looks like it's on that plane and then it just disappears.
Colby Rasmus steps in with 1 out. Rasmus had a bunt single in last night's game. Finished up 1 for 5. Ball and a strike. Judge Erasmus, over his last 22 games, has hit .330. Pops this one up. It's playable. Alberto Callaspo in foul territory, 2 down. Jose Bautista has a good history against Santana. He's got a couple of long balls against the Angel right-hander.
Now, Urban Santana will give up home runs. This is Bautista a few seasons ago, line drive into the bullpen. He will challenge you, Santana. When he gets behind, he'll use his fastball. That was earlier this year in that game where Santana just gave up 3 hits. Still lost.
Bautista hit a 2-run home run on the first pitch in 3rd inning. The Blue Jays just scored in 1 inning against Santana. 3 runs in that inning. They added a 4th run against Jason Isringhausen, the reliever, in the 9th. Carly, I'm sure he'd love to hit a baseball to you. And you too, Abby. So if we can have another multi-home run night from Bautista, he could accommodate both.
I think that is within reach from where I think that sign is in left center field.
It is well within reach. Last night, Bautista's home run went 455 feet against Dan Aaron. Aaron and Weaver, the 2 veterans of this rotation. Urban Santana making his 219th start for the Angels. He now has tied Frank Tanana in that department for career starts for the Angels. That's 5th all time. He's been a very good pitcher, consistent pitcher for them. And he walks Bautista. Just got the sense he didn't want too much to do with Jose Bautista right there.
Reaches back for a little something extra. Tries to throw it inside and a little bit too much. I got that same feeling also, that pitchers are going to start pitching around Bautista just a little bit more. Take their chances with Encarnacion.
Encarnacion is just 1 for 11 against Santana, and that explains a little bit more about the approach to Bautista. These pitchers know guys they should challenge and guys they should avoid. Inside off the plate. One thing Bautista and Encarnacion have done this year consistently is they have been selective. Bautista's taken his walks and Encarnacion has followed suit.
Very rarely has he swung at pitches out of the strike zone. I mean, he has leaned on pitches this year. I don't know if you remember last year, he was very susceptible to high fastball. Pitchers would throw it up there and he'd chase it. They'd throw breaking balls down and away to him and he'd chase them. And I think with him holding on to the bat with two hands now, he's a little bit shorter in his swing. He keeps his front shoulder in there longer. And I think he's just seeing the ball a lot better this year.
1-2, 2 outs. Bautista will get back to the bag at first.
How about those two sluggers right there?
You think they can talk hitting? They can really swing the bats, and they know what they're doing at the plate. It's not just raw talent. Upstairs, it's 2-2.
Yeah, you don't put the kind of numbers together that those two guys have done in their career by just going up there and just swinging away every time. You've got to have a plan, have an idea what you want to do.
Good eye. Encarnacion laid off that borderline pitch downstairs.
That was the pitch that Edwin was swinging at a lot last year. He's just seen the ball just a little bit better. His timing has been so good at the plate. He has hit some tough pitches this year.
There goes Bautista, and this ball is driven toward right center. Torrey Hunter gets there and makes the catch. The inning is over. The Blue Jays get a base runner, but leave one. They are scoreless after one. Friday, July 13th, when the Blue Jays take on the Indians. The game starts at 7:07 p.m. Come down early and enjoy the pregame festivities outside Gate 10. It all starts at 4:30 p.m. There's a licensed area, live music, and fun interactive games. Summer Fan Fridays. Call the Blue Jays for tickets at 416-341-1234. Or log on to BlueJays.com. Come down and spend a nice Friday afternoon at Rogers Center with the Blue Jays. Beautiful weather for this Canada Day weekend, and the fans have come out. They're down by the lake shore having a good time, and the weather is really cooperating. Kendrys Morales will lead things off. He did not play in last night's game. He's bounced back. Been a tough couple of years for him. He broke his leg in a home plate celebration a couple of years ago, and taking him a while to get back. Breaking ball missed upstairs.
Before that injury that you were talking about, that injury happened in 2010. The year before that, he was one of the most productive first basemen in the American League. 34 home runs, 108 driven in, and he hit 306. But then shattered his ankle jumping on home plate, and really hasn't been the same. Just hasn't had his legs underneath him because of that ankle problem. When we saw him back in May, he's still limping just a little bit.
Villanueva ahead 1-2. Ball is driven to center field. Rasmus back on the run, on the track. It's over his head, off the wall. Morales is around first. He is headed for second, and Kendrys Morales has a leadoff double. You could still see a little bit of that limp as he was running around the bases. He's still not running smoothly, but boy, he's swinging the bat.
Yeah, he is hot too lately. He has been swinging the bat and with more power. Up to 8 home runs, and he drives that ball off the wall in center field. Rasmus thinks he has a beat on it, then he's got to slow down and try and play it off the wall.
8th double of the season starts things off for the Angels here in the second, and Mark Trumbo comes to the plate. Trumbo with a home run and an RBI triple in last night's game. Trumbo is starting in left field tonight. He's also started at first base, third base, and right field. They've just decided that they have to have him in the lineup every single night, and they really don't care where they put him.
No way you're taking that bat out of the lineup. He is one of 3 players in the American League to be in the top 10 in all 3 Triple Crown categories. Batting average, home runs, and RBIs. He too swinging hot bat over his last 29 home runs. So the Angels have got a lot of hitters up and down their lineup. Trumbo right now very hot.
Ball on the strike. Snap throw to second. Kelly Johnson with a quick tag. And Seavey made a strong throw. Jeff Mathis picked up Alberto Callaspo at second in last night's game, and Seavey makes a strong throw.
That usually comes from the catcher. He's got the best seat in the house looking out at the defense. And the Angels have always been a team that are very aggressive on the bases. They get very big secondary leads. Jeff Mathis picked up on it last night, got a pick off. J. Pierre Seavey picked up on it tonight and almost got himself one.
1-2. Breaking ball is pulled foul. Mark Trumbo in his second full season has made some adjustments at the plate, and that's why he's hitting .315. Last year he was a little bit more of a free swinger. He knows now that he's got the power to cut down his stroke and still drive the ball out of the ballpark, especially to the opposite field. Good breaking ball from Villanueva down and away, and he picks up the strikeout.
Stop for that breaking ball down and away against Trumbo. Got to get it close enough that they think it's a strike, that it's on the plate and then off the plate. Villanueva exercised that one perfectly.
You don't get hitters to chase unless you're around the plate, especially with your fastball, and that'll make them chase those borderline breaking balls. Alberto Callaspo, the third baseman, is a switch hitter and takes the first pitch down. Callaspo hit one of the 3 home runs the Angels hit last night. Solo shot with 2 outs in the second. Gets back. Lind taking away extra bases from Callaspo.
He was really playing Callaspo on the line. Scouting reports must say that he pulls Villanueva, looked like a changeup, and he yanks it. You can see how close Adam Lind is playing on that line, and just a couple of steps away from it. 1-2, and he's right on that line. Takes away an RBI hit for sure.
Morales with the leadoff double. He's still at second base. Howie Kendrick, the second baseman. Kendrick is just 0 for 1 against Villanueva. Kendrick hit up in the order last night. He was 5th in the batting order last night. Tonight he drops down into the 7th spot. Pop back out of play. Two powerhouse hitting teams in the American League West, the Texas Rangers and the Angels of Anaheim. Texas currently leading that AL West by 4.5 over the Angels, but their lineups are similar. They have power, they have balance, lefty righty power. The Angels have the advantage of switch hitters. They have 5 switch hitters on their roster.
Good pitch right there. When you start to put together an offense, you want to have a little bit of everything. You want to have 300 hitters. You want to have speed. You want to have a few switch hitters, some left-handed power, some right-handed power. And that's just the offensive side of it. But you're right, it's a very similar offense. Both of these teams, both the Angels and the Rangers.
2-1. Upstairs, it's now 3-1. Texas leads the American League with a .286 batting average. The Angels are 3rd at .267. But if you put this Angel lineup in Texas ballpark, it'd be hitting .286 as well.
Sure. And I think since the addition of Mike Trout, since the Angels got Mike Trout up here, they might have a little bit more team speed. I think that's where the Rangers got him before Trout got here.
Off speed pitch, and it's a full count.
The Rangers with Andrews and Kinsler and Hamilton, Nelson Cruz could steal bases, but now these guys, look what they've done since Mike Trout has come up.
Albert Pujols, Mike Trout, interesting duo on that team. 3-2, 2-out. Kendrys Morales at second. Cut out and missed, and Aaron Sevia tags him out. How about Carlos Villanueva? He gives up the leadoff double, but leaves Morales at second. He gets a couple of strikeouts. Punches out Howard Kendrick on a breaking ball. Blue Jays will take on the Angels in Game 3 of this 4-game series. The game starts at 1:07 p.m. There are special kids prize tickets in the 200 and 500 level outfield seats. After the game, kids 14 and under can run the bases just like the pros. For tickets, call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234. Go to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. Headway to spend the Canada Day weekend Saturday right here at Rogers Center as part of the Junior Jays Saturday. Kelly Johnson fouls it off. It's a ball and a strike. Kelly's been struggling of late, but he had a double in last night's game. He ended up 1 for 4 in that ball game. breaks his bat. That ball off the end of the bat and shattered the bat. That bat was awfully close to Albert Pujols when it came down.
And because he was concentrating so much on the ground ball, Pujols had no idea that barrel of the bat was heading his way over there at first base. The pitch right off the end of the bat. You see Pujols has his head down looking at the ball, and here comes the barrel right by him. Santana takes a very nice approach to second base, a good path, and gives Pujols plenty of time to get the ball to him and race Johnson to the bag.
Well, that was fortunate that that barrel of the bat missed Albert Pujols. Shortstop Yunel Escobar takes the first pitch strike. Escobar has hit well against Santana. He's 5 for 14 against the Angels right-handed. And a base hit into center field. He continues to like what he sees from Santana.
Santana throws a lot of low fastballs, and I think that plays right into the swing of, Escobar. Escobar is a low ball hitter. Watch how he goes down and gets it. Anything higher, he has a problem getting on top of that ball. Swings and fouls the ball back or swings through it. But those low fastballs, which Santana throws a lot of, right into Escobar's swing path.
Well, the Blue Jays, as we mentioned, have slipped to 500, but the hitting hasn't slipped a bit. They have really been swinging hot bats. Had 12 hits in last night's game. Rajay Davis squares to bunt and bunts it foul. First time we saw Irvin Santana, he was really struggling for run support. They weren't scoring anything. He was pitching well, but had nothing to show for it. His last 2 starts, he's been on the roll. Just 1 walk and 15 strikeouts in 17 innings.
How about that opponent's batting average of .088 against Santana? When he's on, he can spot that fastball inside, outside. He's got a strikeout pitching that slider.
Fly ball into center. Trout backed up initially, and now he comes in a couple of steps. Davis is retired. That's the second out of the inning. Well, you mentioned what a role that Santana's been on. You mentioned the one hitter on June 16th against the Diamondbacks. That put him in pretty elite company. Only he and Nolan Ryan have a no-hitter and a one-hitter as an Angel pitcher. That's pretty impressive.
No-hitter came against the Cleveland Indians last year, so I don't want to say he can take no-hit stuff to the mound every single time out there, but he's got very good stuff, and when he's clicking on all of them, he'll have those low-hit games.
Adam Lynn, the first baseman, batting in the 8th spot. Just 37 games for Lynn this season. He was sent down to the minor leagues, played 32 games in AAA's Las Vegas. He hit .390 down in AAA. But he will tell you that's AAA.
It's also the Pacific Coast League, which is a hitter's heaven. Adam was telling us in Boston that he's a little bit narrower in his stance at the plate. He's got his feet a little bit closer together to give him a little bit more balance.
Well, that was a good swing. Just got on top of it and fouled it back into the screen, but he took a home run cut.
He was going to tomahawk that ball out of the ballpark. He feels like with his feet a little bit closer together, it frees him up, and it frees him up a little bit on that swing. That might have been the hardest swing we've seen Lynn take in about 3 years.
Well, you're right about that. He had some conviction in that swing. He's anxious to reestablish himself. You can see the narrow stance there. He's more upright, and that allows him to get that bat head through the zone. Goes this one foul. I think the one thing that has really plagued Lynn last year, he had some back problems, and he hurt himself here early in May. And that really just never allowed him to get into sync. He had a pretty good first half of the season. But the second half and the first part of this season were disastrous.
The power numbers were way down. That's something that we have come to expect from Adam Litt.
I think the biggest indicator of the problems at play were the fact he didn't hit any doubles. When he had his great season in 2009, he had 46 doubles and 35 RBIs. Last year, he had 16 doubles.
46 doubles, 35 home runs.
Yep. Right there, Santana paints that outside corner. That's the first strikeout for Irvin Santana. Comes on a fastball, catches the outside corner. That ends the second. Through 2, it's scoreless. Rogers customers have more ways to get Sportsnet's live coverage of the Blue Jays. Watch the action live all season from your smartphone. Download the Rogers Live app from your app store. Friday night baseball here at Rogers Center. Part of a 4-game series against the Angels. Canada Day weekend series. Angels are here for 4. Kansas City will be here for a 4-game series beginning Monday night. Here, Guybor makes a first pitch strike. Guybor's always a threat to bunt. He's one of those guys that just can get things going.
Surveying the field, looking around. He's got 44 bunt hits over the last 3 years.
Brett Laurie takes the short hop. Easy play for the third baseman. Carlos Villanueva making his first start of the season, and had a little rocky start to his season, working out of the bullpen. His ERA almost 6 in the month of April, got respectable in May, and it really was a good month of June for him.
I think it's going down because he's getting more work and more consistent work. Remember at the beginning of the season in April, he would pitch, and then I thought he sat for about 10 or 11 days and didn't pitch again. The starters were going a lot longer. If you remember, they had a string of those 5-inning starts, about 6 weeks long, so it's very tough for the long man to get in there. So he wasn't getting that consistent work. But now that the starters have struggled a little bit, he has been moved into the rotation. He's getting more work. He's throwing more strikes.
John Hester gets the start tonight behind the plate. He's making his 17th start for the Angels. We mentioned Hester began his season at AAA Norfolk. Jose Bautista came in to talk to the second base umpire, James Hoy, who's looking up into the seats as if there might be a light or something shining maybe in Bautista's eyes. Very curious. Hoy continues to look up beyond the third base seats, but Bautista had something distracting.
It was interesting where they were looking also. Not really in the sight, you wouldn't think, of a right fielder who's looking in towards home plate. Where they were looking was right behind third base.
It's something that Bautista didn't like. We mentioned John Hester. He's 28 years old. He started out in AAA with the Orioles this year. The Orioles let him go on April 20th, and the Angels jumped all over him. They picked him up 2 days later. And you walk the number 9 hitter, and that's asking for trouble in this Angels lineup. Comes with 1 out.
How about that? The Angels struggling to find catchers, where just a couple of years ago it seemed like they had catchers coming out of their ears.
Yeah, Jeff Mathis, they had Bobby Wilson, Hank Condren, Mike Napoli, and now Chris Ionetta's hurt. Hank Condren's hurt in the minor leagues, and they had to go out and add some depth. They brought in John Hester. So a 1 out walk to the number 9 hitter. That turns the lineup over. Mike Trout tapped back to Villanueva in his first at bat. Mike Trout in high school was a multi-sport athlete. He was a quarterback and a running back on the football team as a freshman. But then there were coaching changes at his high school. He stopped playing football, but he was a 4-year basketball player. I always find it interesting that multi-sport athletes, they can really focus on rest. I asked him about basketball. He said, I love basketball, but it was a great way to stay in shape and get ready for the baseball season. I just think, too, that young players in high school, even before high school, need to have a break. Even basketball. And I know basketball is just like baseball now. Kids play 12 months a year.
Play it year round, but you have to have rest. You got to use different muscles in your body. Baseball player will use different muscles than a basketball player. Football to basketball, you're using different things. But the important thing is you're an athlete. And baseball people like to see that. They like to see athletes coming into their sport.
Don't you think the different sports gives you different skill sets?
I do. Certainly.
When you think about playing basketball, you have the leadership responsibility for playing guard. As a quarterback, certainly there's tremendous responsibility for a guy like Trout to play quarterback.
Just have, in basketball, you just have to learn how to use your feet. I think basketball really marriages up well with baseball because of how you get yourself into position. They're the batting average leaders in the American League. Mike Trout leading everybody.
Joe Mauer, it's interesting, he's on that list at 321. He was a quarterback recruit by Florida State coming out of Minneapolis. Trout fouls it back. You think Mike Trout deserves to go to the All-Star game?
Yes. 21 steals. Leading the American League in hitting at 344. I know baseball would like to see him at the All-Star game. He and Bryce Harper and some of these other young players around baseball, what better stage to have him on?
There goes the runner. The ball is fouled back. Hester was off on the pitch. Yeah, I agree with you. I think Trout has earned the right to go to the All-Star game. He's leading the league, as you mentioned. Leads the league in steals. And why not showcase your stars? And he's a young star.
He's liable to do what Bo Jackson did for the Kansas City Royals back in 1989 when he went to the All-Star game in Anaheim. Led off the game with a home run and showcased his tremendous athletic ability.
Another full count pitch. Hester dives back into first. I did that All-Star game, and after the game I went to Bo Jackson, and Willie Mays always led off in the All-Star games. I said, Bo, that a little bit like Willie Mays leading off. He said the Willie Mays days are over. There goes the runner. Ball through and off the glove of Escobar. Hester goes to third. Mike Trout has a base hit. It's first and third with one out, and there's that one out walk to the number 9 hitter, putting the pressure on Villanueva.
Yeah, they start the runner, which is the right thing to do. When the ball glances off Escobar's glove, Hester, who doesn't run all that well, makes it easy into third base. You're right. You are just asking for trouble, even with one out. Walking that number 9 hitter, turning that lineup over. Especially how dangerous these Angels hitters are.
And now the threat of a Trout steal. Mike Trout has 21 steals in 24 attempts. And Torrey Hunter, a veteran hitter, he'll be patient. If Trout can get a good jump, they'll let him run. There he goes. Cut on and miss. Throw to second base. Not nearly in time. Boy, he's explosive. Got a great jump, and he is full speed after about a step and a half.
Making it very difficult for anybody, I don't care who you are, to try and throw him out. Even if you're quick to home, look how explosive he is. That is a straight steal. He never once looked in towards home plate to see where the ball was.
Second and third now with one out. Angels threatening here in their half of the third inning. Fouled straight back. Mike Trout with his 22nd steal of the season. He leads Rajai Davis and Jason Kipnis of the Indians. They both have 18. Coco Crisp has had a bounce back year. First time he's been healthy in a while, and that Oakland team is playing much better than everybody thought they would. But Davis and Kipnis trailed Mike Trout by 4. Villanueva counting his favor, 0-2. Torrey Hunter has always been anxious to swing at that high pitch. He got a piece of it, and Sevy and Villanueva were trying to go up the ladder.
Not a bad idea for a couple of reasons. First of all, you want to get the strikeout, or you want to get the pop out. Also, it sets up his next pitch, an overhand curveball, and he's got a good one.
Hunter lines it into right. That's down for a base hit. Hester's in to score. Bautista's throw to the plate as Trout gets the stop sign around third. Torrey Hunter picks up the RBI. His 32nd of the season. And there's that one out walk coming around to score.
A couple hits later, you turn that lineup over and you give up a run. It looked like Mike Trout was going to run through the stop sign. He had a full head of steam coming around third base, and then is able to put on the brakes and stop very suddenly and get back to third.
So runners still at the corner now for Albert Pujols. Breaking ball.
Well, what you don't want to do is get thrown out at home with Albert Pujols coming up. You see Trout making sure the ball gets down, and he's coming right here. And look at that. How do you put your brakes on like that? I'm blowing an ankle out or a knee out trying to do that. He puts the brakes on and gets back without a throw. Probably would have been out at the plate.
Again ahead. 0-2. Pujols flying out to right field. That ended the first inning. Trout at third, Hunter at first. 1-0 Angels. Just in case the Angels are going to try to steal it. I don't think they'll do that with Pujols.
No, I don't care what the count is. He's in the hole 0-2. You want to be taking guys off the bases by running in the outs with this guy at the plate.
Pujols is grounded into 9 double plays. Number 10 would get Villanueva out of this inning. Pujols strikes out. Arancibia can't find the baseball. Hunter almost broke for second. But Pujols strikes out. That's the 3rd strikeout for Villanueva. He's got a good breaking ball tonight.
Yeah, he does. He missed it to Torrey Hunter and gave up the hit, but doesn't miss it on it right here. Breaking ball in the dirt. A lot of confidence in your catcher when you throw that breaking ball in the dirt with a runner at third base. Villanueva picks up a big strikeout.
Angels last night were 5 for 11 with runners in scoring position. Villanueva is not quite out of the woods yet. Kendrys Morales had a double his first time up.
Now that doesn't happen by accident, blocking the ball in the dirt. This was J.P. Arancibia going on 4 o'clock this afternoon. Now Wakamatsu with a little drill, simulating the ball in the dirt, shifting your feet over, getting your body in front of that ball, blocking it. They did that for about 10 minutes this afternoon. Just a little refresher course, and it comes in handy already here in the game tonight.
Yeah, fundamentals were emphasized early this afternoon. They had the outfielders out throwing. They were throwing full speed to home plate, third base. Catchers, of course, who were on the receiving end of those throws to the plate. Colby Rasmus made several very good throws to home plate. Mathis and Arancibia were taking the throws at home. But it was a fundamental day early on at Rogers Center.
And that's something you have to do, I think, as the season winds on. You can get into the travel and all the games playing, but you've got to pick out times where you can come out here and just a little refresher course, work on the fundamentals, the pitchers fielding practice like they have. It's not something that you do all the time. You don't have infield practice. This is the catchers earlier today also working on throws from the outfield and blocking the plate. The proper technique, where to set up, how to get in front of the ball, how to get in front of the runner. This is perfect right here from Jeff Mathis. That's picture perfect. Just jump in front of there and block that runner off.
Pop back out of play. You saw Mathis go to his knees, and when you do that, you really protect yourself. You don't subject your ankles or your knee joints to injury. By going down on the ground, put your knees, shin guards in the dirt, you've really assumed the most powerful position a catcher can have. You're anchored to the ground.
Buster Posey comes to mind.
Never got down.
Never got down. Never got anchored when he was run over and broke his ankle.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bouncing ball foul. Miraz, his 9th double, led off the 2nd inning, but Villanueva then retired the next 3 batters in order. Mike Trout at third base with a single. Torrey Hunter at first, the RBI single. Another 2-2 pitch. There goes Hunter. Fouled back out of play. Torrey Hunter doesn't run like he did early in his career. He's got 3 steals in 3 attempts.
He was good for 25 stolen bases when he was with the Minnesota Twins. Now he just picks his spot. When's the best time to run?
There he goes again. Cut out and missed. Another strikeout for Villanueva. Back-to-back strikeouts. That's how Villanueva gets out of the 3rd inning. And the breaking ball has been his most effective pitch. Another curveball strikeout. But the Angels have taken a 1-0 lead. Up on the Canada Day merchandise at jayshop.ca. All the items will be available: jerseys, caps, t-shirts, and much more. jayshop.ca is the official online merchandising site of the Toronto Blue Jays. It's always a very popular item, that Canada Day red jersey the Blue Jays will wear. Sunday afternoon, the series finale against the Angels. J.P. Arencibia leads things up. Breaking ball, he lays off. Off the end of the bat. Now Kendrick gets over and makes the catch. This little squibber off the end of the bat. Kendrick was able to go to his left. That's the first out of the bottom of the 3rd. Back to the top of the order. Brett Lawrie grounded to second base his first time up. This is our first game, and Brett Lawrie, I'm sure he would love to accommodate and hit a home run out there. But the fan base has gotten younger and younger with Brett Lawrie coming to the big leagues. Lawrie hit the ball hard his first time up, but it was right to the second baseman.
I think a lot of it has to do with his style of play, the way he brings it, and the way he plays this game. A lot of energy, a lot of focus, a lot of speed. He and Mike Trout, very similar explosive type of players.
Ball is golfed into center field. Mike Trout will come in and make the catch. 2 quick outs for Santana here in the 3rd. Colby Rasmus has found a new home. How about that? Yeah, the girls love his Colby Rasmus style hair. And Colby has become a fan favorite here.
That's tremendous right there.
And Colby has certainly found a home here with the Blue Jays. Well, that's a wicked slider right there. Yeah, late breaking and down and into the lefty hitter.
He throws it right out of the same arm slot as that fastball.
Look at this. Abby and Carly are very resourceful. They have a whole bunch of nameplates. Albert Pujols snares a hot shot liner. That's a quick inning for Santana. Blue Jays go down in order on just 8 pitches. Things off here for the Angels, and last night we got to see just how powerful Mark Trumbo is.
What a month that he is putting together, like Jose Bautista. This one, he just reaches out and just flicks his wrist at that baseball, hammers it the other way to right center field for his 19th home run. He's now driven in 27 runs in the month of June.
Okay, Mr. Baseball, I got a question for you.
Yes.
How in the world did Mark Trumbo slip to the 18th round of the draft? 2004. There was an 18th round draft pick.
Did he sign? And then get redrafted 4 years later?
How about that? And he grew up right under the nose of the Angels, and there's a reason that he slipped. He had a scholarship to the University of Southern California.
Baseball or football? Because he's huge.
Yeah, no, it was a baseball contract. Everybody thought he was going to go play for the Trojans at USC. But the Angels said, you know what, he's right in our backyard. Let's take a shot. Trumbo gets a base hit on a breaking ball. That starts off the 4th inning.
He might not look like it, but he's a good athlete. 6'4", 225 pounds. We've seen him play both corner positions in the infield and the outfield, and he's got an excellent arm.
Yeah, he really has a strong arm. As we mentioned, he's played all over the field. He's made 4 starts at first, 8 at third, but he's no longer playing at third base. This is 18th start in left, and he started 22 games in right. I don't care where you put me, just put me in the lineup. Third baseman Alberto Callaspo. He lined out to Adam Lynn back in the 2nd.
263 average for Callaspo, but when he plays the Jays, he becomes Superman. 345 career hitter versus Toronto. Those are the kind of guys you try and trade for, so you don't have to face them anymore.
Yeah, but then he doesn't have that 345 average.
He's back down to 263.
We trade for him because he hits so well against you, and then he never hits against your staff again. He's a good player, and he has solidified the third base spot. The Angels are fortunate in that they have production in different places. They've got a great producer at first base in Albert Pujols. Now they've got a young run producer in Trumbull and Trout. So you can afford to have less production at a traditional power spot like third base. There goes Trumbull. Hit and run is on. Villanueva looks at second and has to go to first, and the Angels advance the base runner.
You know what else they have? They have a lot of interchangeable parts and players that can play multiple positions and switch hitters. It's almost like playing the Tampa Bay Rays, like you're playing a team that has like 15 or 17 extra everyday players.
Morales is a switch hitter. Callaspo and Ibar, and then Isturiz and Andrew Romine. They got a lot of interchangeable parts, and those switch hitters give you the feeling you have an expanded roster. Howie Kendrick takes one downstairs. Kendrick struck out. That ended the second inning. There's a base hit into right field. Bautista waits on it. Trumbo is being stopped at third base. Angels have tremendous respect for Bautista's throwing arm. And even though he had to go toward the foul line, he still got enough on the throw to keep Trumbo at third.
Also had to wait a little bit and wait for that ball to hit the ground and stay back on it. High fastball inside out swing by Kendrick. Bautista has to wait up, so does Trumbo, and by then it's too late. You're not going to run on the guy who's got the most outfield assists in the American League.
First and third. Now you really got problems with Ibar at the plate. He can bunt. He's a terrific bunter. They can play safety squeeze here. They can just have Ibar bunt the ball toward the second base. A lot of options here. Not showing bunt. He takes one outside. On the last base hit by Kendrick, watch the catcher J.P. Arancibia as he gets ready, anticipating a play at the plate. Puts his foot right up on the third base side of home plate so he knows where he's at. And if that throw comes to the plate, he has a point of reference, having that plate right underneath his left heel. Well, he's driven toward deep center field. Rasmus, a long run on the track. He makes the catch up against the wall, tagging and coming in from third is Trumbo. And Kendrick gets back to first. And what a play by Colby Rasmus. That was a determined effort for sure. He made up his mind he was going to catch this ball.
What makes it so difficult is where he's playing. Look at him at the top of your screen. He's shading into left field and shallow. And now he's got to get on it. You're right. He never took his eye off that ball. Did not care where that wall was. A little timid in last night's game on a couple of balls to the left center field gap and right center field gap. That time he said, I'm going to make this catch.
Well, that's a good defensive play right there. And that was another aspect that the outfielders worked on here this afternoon before batting practice. They took a lot of balls off the fungo from Torey Lovullo. But the Angels have taken a 2-0 lead. The catcher and number 9 hitter John Hester scored the first run for the Angels after he took a 1-out walk.
Torey was out here with that fungo, working with his outfielders, working on base hits, then charging, and coming up throwing, where to throw. And he really works those outfielders.
There goes a runner at first. Kendrick is off. The throw is right on the money. Howard Kendrick slid right into the glove of Kelly Johnson at second. And he is caught. Aaron Seavey has been throwing from his knees, and it's been effective. Terrific catch by Kelly Johnson at second. Of a month of June. He's hit 14 home runs. That's the all-time franchise record for a Blue Jay hitter with home runs in a month. But look at, he has out-homered the Rays and the Dodgers in the month of June.
That is really something, isn't it? When you can out-homer two major league clubs all by yourself. And the Dodgers, you think they missed Matt Kemp? 6 home runs in the month of June?
Yeah, Matt Kemp came back too soon from that hamstring injury, re-injured his hamstring, and now it's a much more significant loss. Inside, Santana is working Bautista inside. Flirting with danger.
Yeah, that's where he is, looking for that baseball and trying to unload.
That's a shot down the right field line. Fair ball all the way into the corner. Bautista will start things off bottom of the fourth with a leadoff double. That was a pretty swing.
Not the home run swing that we have seen from Bautista, but it's a pretty swing because he uses the whole field. Watch where that ball is, down and away. And he just goes with it. One of the smartest ball players on the Blue Jays. He was always thinking about ways to beat you. And that time he just beat Santana the other way.
10th double of the season. His 36th extra base hit. Blue Jays need to cash in. Get that leadoff runner at second. You've got to score him. Right man at the plate to do just that. Edwin Encarnacion. Edwin with 22 home runs. Abby and Carly have flipped their signs now to Mr. Encarnacion. And you know that's Grandpa's idea. There's no doubt about it. There's a base hit. Bautista had to make sure it was down safely. He's getting the wave home. Here's the throw from Mike Trout. The relay, not in time. Aggressive base running by the Blue Jays, and they are on the board. Bautista got the wave from Brian Butterfield. Trout's throw was cut off and relayed by Pujols, and his throw was just a tick late at home.
Effectively switching places with Jose Bautista at second. The ball is smoked into the gap. You see Bautista, he's got to wait. Brian Butterfield says, come on, we're going to challenge the arm as Trout lays back on it. Here's the catcher blocking that plate. The only place you can go is to the outer portion.
Kelly Johnson puts down the bunt, and Encarnacion goes to third. Take a look at the Bautista scoring play. Trout throws a good, strong throw to the cutoff man. Pujols with a quick relay.
There are two cutoff men there. Pujols and the third baseman, Castro. Not really sure who was going to take that throw, but it's a good throw from Trout and to Pujols. But Bautista just beats it. RBI for Encarnacion, number 55, and he's standing over at third base, so the infield has to come in now.
Infield is in for Yunel Escobar. Escobar single to center his first time up. And as we mentioned, he has hit well against Santana. He's now 6 for 15 against the Angels starter.
Low pitches from Santana, so his first pitch is about belt high inside.
Breaking ball around the inside corner. Yunel is a tough guy to strike out. He puts the bat on the ball. And that's what you need right here. You need the ball to the outfield. Put it in play. There it is. We are tied. Escobar RBI single. Encarnacion comes in to score. It's 2-2.
You can just tell he sees the ball out of the hand of Ruben Santana. No flinching. He just sees it and then unloads on it. That's like a pitch on the inner half, and Yunel just rips it into left field. Bottle up that swing right there. Perfect.
Isn't it amazing how Santana can pitch so well against the Blue Jays? Their batting average as a team just over 200, but Yunel Escobar wears him out.
Just sees the ball. There are certain pitchers in the league where guys see the ball a lot better. It's a good matchup for Yunel Escobar.
Once again, the Bash brothers do it for the Blue Jays. Bautista and Encarnacion have now combined for 116 RBIs. Rajai Davis. Cut on and fouled into the glove of John Hester. Encarnacion with 55 RBIs. That ties his RBI total from last year. He has really gotten off to a great start to his season.
134 games, 481 at bats.
Rajai Davis lines it to left. It's over the head of Trumbull and off the wall. Escobar got a good break, but he'll stop at third base. Davis with the double.
One of the things that the Blue Jays have done with Rajai Davis this year is, like when Encarnacion, they're having him hold on to the bat with two hands. That's exactly what he does as he takes it through the zone, and he's got some power, some pop. 4 home runs, and then this laser right off the bottom of the fence for Rajai.
His 7th double of the season. The Blue Jays with runners at second and third. His 100th career big league double. 2-2 ball game. Adam Lynn with a chance to put the Jays out on top. Four hits in the inning. Blue Jays were held to a single hit through the first 3 innings against Santana. This would be a great time for Lynn's first home run since coming back.
Yes.
Had a home run cut in his first at bat. deep to center field, and there it is. Adam Lind is back.
Blue Jays are laying out some line drives this inning against Irvin Santana. Couple singles, couple of doubles, and now this. Breaking ball, Lynn crushes it to center field. Stay back on that one. You mentioned the home run swing he had off the fastball first time. Not this time. Controlled, but quick.
Boy, that is a welcome sight for the Blue Jays. Santana, that's 19 home runs he's given up now, and 10 straight starts against the Blue Jays, giving up a home run. And Sabia pops it into center field. 2 down. Well, what an inning. Bautista with an opposite field double, and Encarnacion an RBI double. Escobar an RBI single, Davis a double, and then a 3-run shot off the bat of Adam Lind.
Exclamation point on that swing by Adam Lind. New haircut. Working magic here.
Might have to get one of those myself. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
5-2 Jays.
That home run given up by Santana has pulled him into a 3-place tie for the most home runs given up in the American League, tied with Tommy Hunter and Phil Hughes.
And now it's Mr. Laurie's turn to oblige. They're polite young ladies, too. Mr. Laurie, Mr. Bautista, Mr. Lind accommodated the young girls with the homer. Laurie stays alive. He fights off that breaking ball. Boy, there was a buzz here inside the ballpark after Adam Lind hit that shot to center. Full count. Laurie is the 8th man to bat this inning.
Yeah, he knows Santana doesn't want to walk him. Took one out right here and hit it hard.
Popped up behind the home plate. Hester will watch it sail over the screen and out of play. Scott Richmond is loosening up for the Blue Jays.
You're hoping 5 innings or 85 pitches, whatever came first for Carlos Villanueva tonight.
Carlos has thrown 69 pitches through 4 innings. Brett Laurie bounces it on the ground. He's got a chance, and Pujols picked it up. Albert Pujols ended the game last night scooping a low throw. And you can see Laurie thinks he was safe. Bang, bang at first. That ends the inning. The Blue Jays score 5. It's 5-2. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn from the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. Enjoying those big comfy green chairs in the TV comfort zone are some lucky fans who received a seat upgrade tonight, courtesy of TD. And they are enjoying it. Game prepared, got the camera out, first row, get a chance to watch the Blue Jays put up a 5 spot in the bottom of the 4th. John Hester was at the plate when J.P. Arancibia threw out Howie Kendrick to end the top half of the 4th. This is a big inning for Carlos Villanueva.
Gotta shut him down right here. 9-1-2. Shut him down and shut him down quickly. Having trouble throwing strikes to the number 9 hitter.
Hester helped him out right there. Might have chased ball 3. Adam Lind with his first home run since coming back from the minor leagues, a 3-run homer, his 4th of the season. And has given Villanueva a 3-run lead. Boy, he really slowed his arm down on that changeup and telegraphed it.
Watch the changeup and watch how he slows down right there. Right when that front foot hit in front of him.
Popped up over behind the Angels dugout, well out of play.
This would be a good spot right here, 3-2, to do that quick pitch that we have seen Villanueva do. 2 strikes on the batter. Instead of getting that high leg kick, you just abbreviate it, quick pitch him, try and catch him by surprise.
You need this out.
Yes.
And he'll get it. Goes right back to the old bread and butter. That breaking ball for the strikeout. 1 out here, top of the 5th. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Yeah, for all the Blue Jay fans who think the Blue Jays are the only ones that have pitching problems, think again. It's everywhere. CC Sabathia's replacement. 2 1/3, 8 hits, 6 earned runs. And he has left that game with a 23.14 ERA.
Welcome to the big leagues.
And right now, you don't want to be playing the Chicago White Sox. Robin Ventura's ball club has turned it on. They came back and won on a Diane Viciedo home run in the top of the 9th last time. They've won 3 straight. They have a 2.5 game lead over the Indians in the Central. Mike Trout pulls it into the seats.
I think it's going to go down to Detroit and Chicago. They have the best pitching from top to bottom, from starters to relievers. Those 2 teams in the Central Division. One of those teams is going to get hot.
One of those teams will probably pick up another body. Villanueva knows that this is probably going to be his last inning. He's just got to really slow things down and focus on making quality pitches.
Sitting at 78 right now.
Boy, that curveball has been money all night long.
He has used it for some strikeouts. He has used it to get me over, like that pitch right there. 2-1 to get back into the count. Well, he's liable to go anywhere here.
Villanueva shook to that fastball and got it in on the hands of Mike Trout. Carlos knows that the Angels have picked up on that breaking ball and how good it is. So right there, he shook off the curveball and threw a fastball inside. And there he comes back to that breaking ball, and Trout strikes out. That's 6 strikeouts now for Villanueva. That's one thing that's really been effective for him of late.
Getting the strikeout using a slider or curveball. He has won off his career high, which he set last year in July against the Indians. as he gets a good hitter in Trout. This would be a nice finish with a flurry type of inning if he can get Torrey Hunter.
Breaking ball, base hit for Hunter. Underneath the glove of Brett Laurie into left.
Second hit of the night for Torrey Hunter, and Brett Laurie almost comes up with it. You see him right when the pitch is on its way. He shifts to his left. And even with that great range that Laurie has, he's just going to come up with that one.
Hunter's at first with his second hit of the night. He's 2 for 3. Albert Pujols is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Villanueva reminded himself to stay on top of that baseball. He got underneath that and missed badly. Thrown 83 pitches now, and that's more than they had hoped he would have to throw.
I know it sounds simple, but one pitch at a time right now. You get a tendency when you get 2 quick outs and what you know is your last inning, you want to rush through it now. I want to get through this very quickly, and all of a sudden you come out of your mechanics and the ball starts floating up. What you want to do is you want to take a little time, step back, think one pitch at a time. Let me execute this 2-0 pitch right here.
Yeah, you don't want to be half-stepping with Albert Pujols at the plate.
You know John Farrell will like Villanueva to finish this inning. First of all, to get a chance to win the game. Second of all, to get Scott Richmond or whoever he chooses to come in a clean inning.
Villanueva's previous season high for pitches was 66. He did that twice. And he knows he's about out of gas. He's thrown 85 pitches, and this will be 86.
He's still got to reach back for a little something extra, even though it's a 3-0 pitch. You know Albert Pujols has the green light.
There's a strike. John Farrell would love to be able to get Villanueva through the 5th, but he's not going to jeopardize the ball game to do it. If he didn't get Pujols out here, he's liable to go to Scott Richmond. There goes Hunter. Bouncing ball. That's a fair ball past Laurie. Hunter is toward third. He's being waved home. Here's the throw from Davis way offline, and Albert Pujols with an RBI double makes it a 5-3 ball game.
Every time tonight that the Angels have started that runner at first base, it has worked out for them. By starting that runner at first on a 3-1 count and a double down the left field line by Pujols, Hunter can score. If not, he can only get to third base. Ball ripped, off-speed pitch right down the line again, just out of the reach of Laurie. As it came up in good throwing position, but the ball sails on him and Hunter can score. So they don't get the shutdown inning like they were hoping for after they scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 4th.
Villanueva has thrown 18 pitches this inning, and that's why Bruce Walton came out. And again, they're just trying to coax Villanueva through this inning. Kendrys Morales has doubled and struck out. He's at the plate with 2 outs, and he represents the tying run. Chase that pitch upstairs. Another pitch off the plate. Morales has really helped out Villanueva on the first 2 pitches of this at bat.
Yeah, he certainly has. He also struck out last time on a breaking ball that was out of the strike zone. Juan Jose was in right field. There he is.
You've got to believe that breaking ball is coming soon. Bounced in the dirt. Trying to make that one too good.
Yeah, Morales knew it was coming too, and he recognized it out of the hands right away. Just in case, some signs are being relayed back to the batter from second base. Villanueva called out J-Pierre and Sebia. Told him exactly what he wanted to do right here.
Yeah, with Pujols at second base, it doesn't take long for a guy to pick up on a pattern if you're not really protective of your signs. 1-2. Mark Trumbo is on deck. 91 pitches. You just have to believe that Morales is the last batter no matter what happens. Bouncing ball. Escobar in front of second base and plenty of time, and Villanueva gets his 5 innings. He walks off the mound with a 2-run lead. Jays lead at 5-3. Win of the season. He'll be opposed by Aaron Harang for the Dodgers, and the Dodgers ran into a buzzsaw in San Francisco. They lost 3 straight shutout games, and now they're dealing with the Mets. Colby Erasmus jumps on the first pitch and grounds out.
It didn't stop with the Dodgers when they left town for the San Francisco Giants. They threw another shutout last night.
How about that? 4 straight shutouts for the Giants, and that's a franchise record. That that is unbelievable that they have turned things around on the strength of their pitching, and the Giants all of a sudden have taken a stranglehold on the National League West.
Madison Bumgarner last night, a one-hitter. How many times have we said that this year? A one-hitter
for the Giants. 15 days earlier, Matt Cain threw a perfect game against the Astros. About the pitching in that series, Mets and Giants. Johan Santana's thrown a no-hitter. R.A. Dickey's thrown 2 one-hitters. All in the month of June. Bautista waves at a breaking ball. So Matt Cain threw that perfect game. And then Madison Bumgarner threw a one-hitter. In the last 40 years, only 2 other teams had a complete game no-hitter and a one-hitter in the same calendar month. In 40 years. There was a strike. And on the inside corner, Bautista was looking for something away.
Catches the inside corner. Looked like they wanted to go away, and it looked like Santana missed his spot, but it looked like he got the plate.
3-2. Bautista waves at a breaking ball. 2 outs. Carlos Villanueva battled through a rough top half of the 5th inning, gets out of it, and he is really done a good job making his first start of the season. He will give up 3 earned runs.
That's why they started him instead of Jesse Chavez or Scott Richmond. John Farrell and the Blue Jay brass figuring that Villanueva, when he got himself in trouble, he has an idea how to get out of it. And he found himself in trouble last inning and got himself out of it with just 1 run scored.
Minimized the damage for sure. Edwin Encarnacion, part of that 5-run 4th inning, had an RBI double that drove in the first Blue Jays run. He has been hit more often on that left elbow and left hand. And he has really taken a beating this year.
Yeah, the left tricep area, that's the spot between your elbow and your shoulder. And he's hurting right now. He's not wearing that pad where we see a lot of the hitters nowadays protecting that front side, the elbow or that tricep area. And I'm telling you, when you get hit there, that's the area right there where George Poulos is pointing to. Your whole arm will just go numb.
That's the 6th time he's been hit this year. And he's going to stay in the ballgame, obviously. I mean, he has been hit hard, and George Poulos wants to see what kind of strength he has in his left hand. But there you see, right above the elbow.
You start your swing, and you just can't close that shoulder quick enough to take it on your shoulder or your back. Your arm is still exposed just a little bit. You can see he's showing Albert Pujols right where he got hit. It's on the road trip. The Blue Jays just finished up where he got hit in that same spot.
Kelly Johnson had a big sacrifice bunt in the 4th inning. That moved Encarnacion from 2nd to 3rd and set up the 5-run inning.
Santana came in here a very hot pitcher, but he is all over the place tonight.
Yeah, this is not vintage Santana. We have seen him much better than this, and he's struggled with his command. Ten
10 strikeouts, no walks last time out 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 hit the time before that.
There goes Encarnacion, and that's a strike. Edwin will have a stolen base. Moves into scoring position with his 7th steal of the season.
Only been thrown out 2 times this year. It's a good spot. Santana forgets about him, and he steals it without a throw.
3-1 to Johnson. Cut on and missed. Kelly Johnson's been in a real home run drought. He's not homered since May 28th, and looks like he's trying to create a home run swing.
Yeah, trying to lift the ball instead of hit through it.
Johnson will take the walk.
Want a better tasting burger? Then step up to the plate for a Sirloin Uncle Burger at A&W. Made with 5 ounces of juicy sirloin, it's a taste of burger bliss.
Santana has struggled. He hit Encarnacion. He's walked Johnson, and now Yunel Escobar at the plate. He's already 2 for 2 tonight. And he's seeing the ball well against Santana.
Yeah, he is not even budging on that outside pitch. Maybe this will work out for the Jays. Encarnacion takes one for a team. Johnson gets the 2-out walk. Right man at the right spot.
Fouls it off right off home plate. Left-hander Isunori Takahashi starts to loosen up for the Angels. He's one of 2 left-handers they have in their pen. The other is former Blue Jay Scott Downs. Hard hit off the glove of Callaspo, and Encarnacion's coming around third. Here's the throw to the plate. He slides, and he is out. Good job by Eric Ibar to stay with that. He got to it and used his great arm strength to throw a perfect strike to the plate. Callaspo kind of nonchalance it, kicks off his glove, but there's the shortstop behind third, makes a perfect throw to Hester, who puts the tag on Encarnacion.
Season high 6 strikeouts and a very good curveball. Good breaking ball working tonight. Had some big strikeouts in big spots. 3rd inning with a couple of runners on base, striking out Pujols and Morales. Yeah, get them 5 innings tonight. Turn it over to the bullpen. Let's see if they can hold it Right now, it'll be Scott Richmond. Richmond last pitched on the 26th. He followed David Pauly in the 8th inning at Fenway Park after Foley gave up 3 straight hits to start the 8th inning. Richmond was great. 1-2-3 inning with a strikeout against the Red Sox.
It'll be Trumbo, Cayaspo, and Hallie Kendrick for the Angels here in the 6th. On the ground, Escobar. Couple of steps and guns across the diamond. 1 down. Well, Scott Richmond, having started at AAA Las Vegas, certainly has plenty of pitches in that right arm.
Yeah, he was a starter down there. Now pitching out of the bullpen. That's why he's here. He throws strikes if he can give them innings out of that bullpen. Mentioned his last time to the mound a few days ago against the Boston Red Sox. The last time before that, the previous time before that appearance in Boston was against these Angels last year in April.
Came up on the 10th of April. They needed a body because the bullpen had been depleted, and they came up and pitched 1 inning and took a hike back to AAA. That was his only appearance of the season.
The whole year. You don't think he's fired up to be here? You don't think he wants to make an impression?
Boy, if you don't know there's opportunities all over the place on this pitching staff, you haven't paid attention. And John Farrell doesn't really care who it is.
Yeah, right now, I don't care who in the organization it is. You get a chance right here, make the most of it.
And you know what? It's even more than just for the Blue Jays as well. John Farrell knows that baseball has really had a problem this year of keeping pitchers healthy. And everybody's out there looking to see if they can't add a pitcher here or there. You're on the big stage now. You get a chance to make an impression. Breaking ball. Kelly Johnson to his right. Quickly to first. Nice play by Kelly Johnson. Now it's time to take a look at the Blue Jays farm report. We're going to go down to AAA Las Vegas and talk about the opposite ends of the spectrum in experience. Yan Gomes was the catcher. He went 3 for 4 last night. His average at .352. And how about 49-year-old Jamie Moyer going 5 innings last night?
5 innings, 3 earned runs, 6 strikeouts for Moyer in his first game for the Blue Jays AAA team. We're going to give him a couple of starts to see what he can do. The Blue Jays are no different than any other team in baseball right now. They are looking for pitching anywhere. And if a 49-year-old pitcher can get hitters out, the Blue Jays assign him and bring him here.
Moyer actually pitched well for Baltimore in the minor leagues. He made 3 starts, had 16 strikeouts. But at the time, Baltimore didn't have an opening for him, so he opted out of that contract. So the Blue Jays picked him up. It's our understanding that it's a 2-start deal for Moyer. Make 2 starts, we'll evaluate you then and see where we stand. At 49, you don't have an awful lot of time to wait around.
He'd be old as his manager if he came up here. But a lot of experience.
Howie Kendrick drives it into right. Easy play for Bautista. Scott Richmond has a 1-2-3 top half of the 6th. Blue Jays are up by 2. for a special 20th anniversary look back to the 1992 season when the Blue Jays won their first World Series. You'll get interviews with all the great players, lots of great photos, and all kinds of information. Sportsnet magazine on newsstands now. Here's Mr. Tabler in that.
Yeah, I got cut off. I think that might be my arm right there on the left. But there's Alfredo.
Alfredo Griffin, number 4. Bill Carter, of course, center stage. Great moment. Great opportunity with that magazine to rekindle some fond memories of that 92 season. Well, Rajai Davis has his second hit of the night. A leadoff single here in the 6th.
Don't waste any time. You know you got Santana on the ropes. He had a long inning last inning. So Rajai slaps one back through the middle. Now this is nice for the Blue Jays. Some speed at first and some power at the plate.
And Davis checking out Santana. Three-run home run for Adam Lind his last time up. There goes Davis, the pitch out. Not in time. Angels guessed right. And with that hard head-first slide, beat the throw of John Hester.
And the throw was a little off target. It was more towards the third base side of the bag at second. And you see the shortstop, Ibar's got to reach across his body and then come all the way back down, and that allows Rajai Davis a lane to slide in.
19 steals now for Davis. Throw to second base, and Ibar is as good as any shortstop in the American League on putting this pickoff play.
Not afraid to put the play on. That's what you've got to think about first. You can't be afraid to throw the ball around like this if they're going to put that pickoff play on at second base, and it's all timing. The timing between the shortstop and the pitcher. You're dancing behind there, and you might back off. The pitcher turns his head towards home, you duck it behind him, and then the pitcher delivers the ball.
Davis has a pretty good read on Santana right now.
I don't think he'd be going right here. 2-0 count, nobody out, left-handed batter up. You're already in scoring position. See if Adam Lind can knock you in by himself.
3-0. You let Lind swing away?
Sure. Why not? Take a mighty hack right here. You're up by 2.
He takes his strike. And Rajai Davis has just picked the pocket of the Angels. How about that? John Hester flipped it back to Santana, and Davis broke and stole third. That's his 9th steal of third this year.
You've got to pay attention when you're on the bases. And Rajai Davis picked this up right here. Hester with the ball. Very calmly throws it back. And no chance for the Angels to steal it. Takes off. The Angels cannot make a play as he steals that bag. That's paying attention.
And Lind walks. It's first and third, nobody out. That is a careless play by the Angels. You can't allow that to happen. Davis is notorious for his ability to steal third, and Mike Scioscia is going to come out and make a pitching change. But the Angels got a little sloppy there. Leadoff single. Davis with a pair of stolen bases. Lind walks, and now Mike Scioscia is going to go to his bullpen. Blue Jays are up by 2. They're threatening here in the bottom of the 6th. lifted from this ball game, as he will give way to the bullpen. David Carpenter, making his 20th appearance, has pitched well in his last 3 outings. Over 4 1/3, he has held the opponents to scoreless, and he hasn't pitched much. Only 3 games in the last 18 games for the Angels.
He's the long man out of the bullpen for the Angels, and now just the 6th inning, nobody out. Carpenter is into the game. Sinker slider type of pitcher from that 3/4 angles. He'll get ground balls. And that's what the Angels want right now. They want a ground ball. He'll trade a run for a couple of outs.
Aaron Sebia goes after the first pitch. Blue Jays have a 3-run home run tonight. Adam Lim hit one in the 4th inning. Nobody out. Davis with his 2nd hit. He stole 2nd and stole 3rd. Carpenter is one of those classic sinker slider pitchers you talked about. Throws in the upper 80s. Relies a lot on movement and location. And this type of guy is the one you want to target back the middle of the diamond. Don't try to pull him.
Pick out one of those pitches early in the count, the sinker or the slider, and then just jump all over it. What you can't do is be in between. You can't try and hit both of them. Now with 2 strikes, J.P. Arancibia's got to really battle. You've got to cut down that swing, make contact, pick that runner up from 3rd base.
1-2. He battles and fouls it back. Davis at 3rd, Lind at 1st. Blue Jays would love to expand their lead. The Angels have scored a ton of runs lately. And Sebia strikes up. Ball down and in, sinking fastball. That's the first out of the inning.
Watch the movement that Carpenter gets on the fastball. It's way off the plate. That's why you get a lot of ground ball outs. And a big strikeout right there from Carpenter. Then we took to double up Brett Lloyd.
Laurie has gone 0 for 3, a couple of ground outs and a lineup. Lined right to the 3rd baseman. Lind is going to be doubled up. And how about Carpenter coming out of the bullpen and shutting down the Blue Jays? A strikeout and a line double play. On baseball, visit our MLB mashup blog on sportsnet.ca. Features Shai Davidi and Mike Cormack, and they will give you all the inside on the Blue Jays and try to keep you up to date with everything that's going around baseball. It is a gorgeous night here at the Rogers Center. CN Tower standing tall, high above the stadium, and Pat and I will be walking around that CN Tower later on in July, and we'll do it all for the great charity foundation, the Jays Care. And Pat has convinced himself that he'll do it.
Yeah, I'm just going to go up there and hang over the side for a little bit. Oh, yeah, no chance.
First pitch swinging is Eric Ibar, and he leads things off with a sharp single into center. Ibar has an RBI and a sac fly. Now he has a single.
First pitch, fastball, it's up. Why waste any time? Ibar pokes it into center field. This is a big out right here, I think, for Scott Richmond. 7th inning, you're up by a couple of runs. You just gave up a leadoff single. You've got to get this guy right here.
Number 9 hitter is the catcher, John Hester. Hester played at Stanford University. Then he was drafted by the Diamondbacks. He's bounced around in the minor leagues, and the Angels picked him up for some insurance, and he's proved to be a valuable commodity. Long look down at the third base coach, Dino Ebel. You would think that they wouldn't do too much right here. Let's see what Scott Richmond will do.
Maybe just to stay out of the double play also.
And Richmond's got to throw a strike. It's 2-0. The Blue Jays bullpen has been taxed in the month of June. They've thrown the 3rd highest number of innings in the month in the American League.
Eventually that catches up to you as the season wears on. We saw that last year from the Blue Jays. Remember when the starters, we had a lot of 2, 3, 4 inning starts, and the bullpen got a lot of work in the middle of the season. It wore down.
Left field, Rajay Davis looking up. John Hester has hit a 2-run home run. And we are tied 5-5.
Hester has had, before that at bat, 2 home runs, 2 RBIs on the season. And he will pick up number 3 RBIs, 3 and 4. One swing of the bat, and just like that, we're tied. The 8th hitter hits a base hit, and then the number 9 hitter goes deep. Turns the lineup over.
That's the 13th home run the Blue Jays bullpen has given up this month. They were tied with Cleveland for the American League lead in that department, and they have just taken over. And that's not something you want to lead in. The Yankees and the Angels, they've had the best starting performances this month as far as innings, and they have kept their workload on that bullpen down to a minimum. So it's back to square one, 5-5 ball game. The Blue Jays have now allowed 44 runs in their last 6 games.
All-new 2012 Honda CR-V. Yeah, it does that. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
A gorgeous summer night. The sun is setting in the west, and the Angels have slugged their way back into this ball game.
How many times have you seen it where the opposition has a scoring threat, first and third, nobody out, and the team gets out of it with no run scored? It just energizes the offense when they come in. That's the feeling I get after the Blue Jays have first and third, nobody out, couldn't score in the bottom of the last inning. Brewers come up, single home run, we're all tied.
Brett Glory lined to the third baseman who threw to third to double up Adam Lind. But you're right, that's such an emotional boost to have that situation where you figure you're going to fall even further behind. The Angels thought, okay, well, we're going to give up one, maybe even more here. They get out of it with no runs scored, and then Ibar and Hester, 8 and 9, hook up, and it's a tie game.
They were playing for a run. They let the Blue Jays have that run.
Mike Trout strikes out. That's the first strikeout for Scott Richmond since he came into the game. This is his second inning of work.
Fastball in a good spot. Away from Mike Trout. He picks up that strikeout. 7th one tonight by Blue Jay pitching.
Torrey Hunter takes a strike. Hunter's had a couple of hits tonight. He scored a run and driven one in. The chopper towards short. No play for Escobar. Hunter has a 3-hit night. A reminder, Canada Day is just around the corner and the Angels are in town. That'll be the 4th and final game of the series. Come on down early and enjoy the pregame street festival happening outside Gate 10. It all starts around noon. There'll be a licensed area, live music, and fun interactive games. Come on down, celebrate Canada's Day with the Blue Jays. For tickets, call the Jays at 416-341-1234. You can log on to BlueJays.com and order your tickets, or stop by most Rogers Plus locations and come celebrate Canada Day with the Blue Jays. Scott Richmond leaves after the infield single by Torrey Hunter. Francisco Cordero will come on when we come back. Sixth inning, a 1-2-3 inning. But then Eric Ibar started it off with a leadoff single, and John Hester a 2-run home run now. Francisco Cordero makes his 37th appearance of the season. He has pitched 13 times in the month of June, and he's pitched very well. His location is much better. He's pitched a total of 10 2/3. And he has an ERA of 1.69 for this month.
Breaking ball a little bit better. You can see he's now averaging over 7 strikeouts per 9 innings. There's 37 appearances like you were just talking about. Buck leads this team. 37 games and 76 team games.
Albert Pujols. Albert had an RBI double with 2 outs in the 5th inning. He came against Carlos Villanueva. Francisco Cordero has pitched a lot against Pujols. Albert is 3 for 14 against the Blue Jays right-hander. So they know each other well. Torrey Hunter with a 3-hit night. He's at first base. Pujols in the hole, 0-2. Hunter ran on a 3-1 pitch to Pujols back in the 5th. He scored all the way from first base on that double.
Nice play by Lind. And look at that low throw from Cordero.
Bouncing ball that'll sneak into the outfield, and Hunter's going to go first to third. Pujols crosses up the defense and just slapped it through the hole at second. 3 infielders on the left side of the diamond. That's the second hit of the night for Pujols.
I think that's by design. When he gets to 2 strikes, he just lets the ball travel a little bit more, throws his hands before the barrel of the bat, and just punches the ball the other way. He beat the Blue Jays last night for his 4th hit on a ball that was away from him. Just an easy ground ball that would have been right at the second baseman. That shows you the type of back control he has. Power and back control. That was by design right there.
The DH, Kendrys Morales. 1 for 3 with a double. Morales is certainly a double play candidate. He didn't run very well. Hits the ball sharply. I'd love for him to hit it on the ground right now.
Infield can play a little bit deeper like they are. You see Johnson, Escobar, and Laurie. The infielder playing a little bit deeper to be able to cut off the baseball.
And Cordero misses. It's 2-0.
How deep the second baseman is in double play depth, and you can do that because Morales doesn't run that well. Usually he'd be about 2 or 3 more steps in towards home plate.
Ground ball, there it is. Second is short, back to first. A 4-6-3 double play. Right on time, Kelly Johnson positioned perfectly. That gets Cordero out of the inning. Blue Jays will send Colby Rasmus to the plate to start off the bottom of the 7th. Jose Bautista and Edwin Encarnacion meet of the order for the Jays. Walden, who's been a closer now, working as the 7th inning guy, has made 26 appearances this year, starting to get things turned around.
Yeah, slider was the problem for him. He just couldn't command it. This guy was an all-star last year in his first full season in the majors as a closer, 5-5 with 32 saves last year, but he has lost that to Ernesto Frieri. Still has a big arm, 96, 97 mile an hour fastball. You got to make him throw that slider over for a strike.
Kobe Rasmus has been shut down. He's 0 for 3 so far. Goes after that first pitch, a 97 mile an hour heater from Jordan Walden. Boy, this is one thing the Blue Jays don't have in their bullpen. That 97, 98 mile an hour heat coming out of the pen.
Yeah, where he can strike you out, come into innings and just dominate you. You don't have a whole lot of time to check up on that baseball when he's throwing that hard. I'd fill my bullpen with guys like this if I had a chance. Just draft big guys who throw that hard. I'll develop them. Shut down a lot of teams from the 6th inning on.
Aaron Santana went 5 plus a couple of batters. He gave up 7 hits, 5 earned runs, and he walked 3. Gave up a home run to Adam Lind, the 3-run shot. 85 pitches. Santana's ERA has been bumped up to 5.12 now. And he's in line for the loss. If he does lose this game, he will drop to 4-9.
It's a guy who couldn't get any runs earlier.
Rasmus strikes out. That's the first out in the bottom of the 7th.
Right fielder, number 19, Jose Bautista.
Bautista's gone 1 for 2. He walked, doubled, and struck out.
We were talking in the opening about Jose Bautista and the home runs that he has hit this season. This is why we come to the ballpark, to watch these type of matchups. Power pitcher versus a power hitter.
That's a good fastball in a good spot. That's Bautista fans on hand.
You've got a pitcher like Jordan Walden, and that's a pretty good slider right there. You want to be able to make sure you get the back door. You don't want a long swing or the ball's going to eat you up. You want a short swing and you want to hit it out in front.
Jose has 26 home runs. That is good for the lead in the American League. Adam Dunn, Josh Hamilton, and then Jose's teammate Edwin Encarnacion with 22. Every time Bautista comes to the plate, everybody is focused on home plate because you never know when that next homer's coming.
Can you guess fastball here?
He got jammed and popped it up behind second. It's the shortstop Ibar. Bautista's retired.
So I mean, that ball just gets on you so quickly when you're throwing 97 miles an hour. You just want to use your hands and get the barrel of the bat head out to make sure you make solid contact. He'll supply the power for you.
Just got to get the barrel to the baseball. 2 outs. The Angels can dramatically shorten ball games with their power bullpen. Power in the 7th in Jordan Walden, finesse in the 8th in Scott Downs, and more power in the 9th with Ernesto Frieri. We had heard before the game Frieri was not available tonight. They need to give him a blow, give him a day off. He picked up last night where he has been all season long. He just has been great since he joined the Angels. Picked up his 10th save last night.
So I kind of half surprised that Walden's in the game in the 7th inning. I think they might hold him back to possibly close this one out if Friere is unavailable.
They probably want to keep Walden in his comfort zone right now. 7th inning, he's been great. He's coming back. He's getting to where they want him to be. They have LaTroy Hawkins. They have Scott Downs. They can close it out with a couple of veterans. Downs has been as dominant as Friere in a totally different fashion. Edwin Encarnacion is hanging tough. Lays off that breaking ball. It's a 5-5 game. Well, I tell you what, he takes those close pitches at 96, 97 miles an hour. He's seeing the ball well.
Seeing it. He is staying on that back leg just a little bit longer.
Drilled to left field. 97, and he turned it around. A 2-out base hit for Encarnacion. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. A gorgeous night in Toronto. Encarnacion with his second hit of the night. His average up to 289. Kelly Johnson looking to get into the hit column. Johnson has grounded out at a sac bunt, and he's walked. Kelly Johnson's taken the right approach. He's still swinging the bat. He hasn't become tentative. Trying to work his way back to that power stroke.
There's a time when the ball club was in Tampa that he was taking a lot of first pitch fastballs right down the middle. Now it's a little bit more aggressive. I think if you're aggressive early in the count, it really makes you concentrate on that baseball.
I think all great hitters anticipate getting something to hit early on. They go to the plate thinking of getting a pitch they're going to cut at.
Blue Jays have used the hit and run with Kelly Johnson at the plate to really help him concentrate on just that baseball, not worry about anything else. But it's paid off for him. A couple sacrifice flies from him.
There goes Encarnacion. Pitches high. Throw from Hester. Not in time. High bar. Trying to make a quick tag and drop the baseball, but the throw was late. That's the second steal for Encarnacion tonight.
Edwin kept getting a larger lead. Watch him just walk off the bag, and Gordon doesn't pay any attention to him. Walden delivers, and Encarnacion steals it easily with an aggressive slide. 8 stolen bases. He's only been caught twice this year.
The Jays have stolen 4 bases tonight. Encarnacion and Davis both with a pair. So the go-ahead run now in scoring position. Blue Jays have gone 3 for 6 so far with the runners in scoring position.
4 for 7 right here.
Quite a battle.
Jordan Walden really loads up on that back leg right there, and then he just fires towards home with his lower half. That'll help you rush that ball to the plate.
Kelly Johnson walks. A 2-out walk. Johnson's second walk of the night. Mike Butcher, the pitching coach, for a little instruction here to Jordan Walden, also to give him a break.
The all-new 2012 Honda CR-V. Yeah, it does that. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Beautiful lights on CN Tower. Walden has thrown 26 pitches in this inning. So Mike Butcher sensed he needed to give his right-hander a breather. If I'm Yunel Escobar, I'm thinking of one pitch on this first pitch. A first pitch fastball, get it ready and turn it loose.
Turn it loose. First pitch fastball and down too. That's where he is better, when that ball is down.
Escobar's had a 2-hit night. Pitch was up. It was a fastball at 97. One thing you don't want to do is get Walden in that slider count.
No.
He's got a wipeout slider.
That can't be any fun for a right-handed batter. Standing up there.
There's the slider blocked by Hester. Driven down the right side. This is trouble. This is a fair ball. One run comes in. Ball bounces out of play. And Caligione will score. Kelly Johnson will have to go back to third. And Yunel Escobar delivers the go-ahead double down the right field line. The Jays are up 6-5.
Well, those 2-out RBIs with nobody on. Then 2-out, the Blue Jays start a rally. Single stole base walk, and now a 2-out hit by Escobar. Inside out swing. Pitch that's down. And then he just floats it down the right field line. Keeps it fair. Slicing, and by a couple of feet he keeps it fair. Encarnacion can trot home. Kelly Johnson would have scored. He's got to go back. And Escobar delivers again. Fourth time that he's been on base tonight.
Rajay Davis with a big cut. Rajay has a couple of hits. The Blue Jays have scored 6 runs on 9 hits.
Rajay was thinking about trying to go large against Jordan Walden there.
It's the old baseball saying, take 2 and hit it to right. That thing will flare down the right field line just like Escobar.
That's 2 ribbies. Broken bat, bleeder, whatever.
Davis takes the pitch. How about Rajay Davis average at 282? Well, he has taken a hold of that left field spot. Blue Jays have gone 4 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Big slider he chases.
You know you're going to get a slider from him now. Go ahead and look for it. Throws off that left side of the infield.
Rajay Davis hits it high in the air to left. Trumbo's got plenty of room. The Blue Jays will leave a pair. But Yunel Escobar's RBI double has given the Jays a 6-5 lead after 7.
Waiting, please enjoy responsibly. How about this call by my partner? I got to give it to you, Buck, for this call with Adam Lind at the plate.
This would be a great time for Lind's first home run since coming back.
Yes. Now that's a smart play. You were pretty smart to call that home run.
Well, you know what? I had my catcher hat on right there. I was thinking Lind had a good cut in his first at bat, and then he went back, and I said, oh, this is going to be a pretty good at bat for him. And it was a timely hit, obviously, and he needed a big hit.
Yeah, he needed it. The team needed it right there. And what was nice about that is he hit it to the biggest part of the ballpark, right center field. He went down and got it. Breaking ball from Santana. That'll home run can go a long way to start a hot streak for Adam Lind.
You know, Escobar's had a big night at the plate. He has 3 hits and driven in a pair, including the go-ahead run, and now he has set up Darren Oliver for the 8th inning. This bullpen, as we mentioned, has been effective when they've had their rest. Oliver's had a great season. 32 appearances now. In the month of June, this is his 13th appearance. He has a 2-0 record in June. He's worked a total of 9 2/3 and allowed just 5 hits in the month. Mark Trumbo goes after the first pitch. Watch Darren Oliver work right here. He's working to a second-year player, Mark Trumbo, who's got a lot of power. Oliver's watched him hit now. He understands that he likes to extend, so even though he doesn't throw awfully hard, he's going to make some good pitches with his fastball and his slider.
He reminds me a lot of Scott Downs, or Scott Downs reminds me of him. The way he's able to move that fastball just 87 miles an hour with a little cut to it, and he jammed them. Very smart. He has learned a lot about pitching and timing and reading bats in his time in the big leagues.
Oliver's ahead of 1-2. Right there, just elevates it and throws that tantalizing fastball that Trumbo had to chase.
Everybody thinks they can hit that ball out of the ballpark, but you have to put the right swing on.
And then he drops that hook, just missed a bit low. Trumbo wouldn't chase. But he's never really going to throw a pitch down the middle of the plate. He works the corners. He pays attention to what Trumbo's doing, how he's covering the plate.
Inside, outside, up, down. Then you've got to have the pitchers to complement that.
And that little cutter on the outside edge. He'll make you worry about all quadrants of the strike zone. Down, in, up, down, all over the strike zone. And you just get a sense of comfort because it's not overpowering stuff. You say, oh, I got this guy.
Next thing you know, you're walking back to the dugout with your bat.
1-2. Breaking ball, hammered, but foul. Not an awful lot of urgency in Darren Oliver's approach. He knows that he's going to dictate the tempo of this at bat.
Love guessing along with these kind of pitchers.
I'm laughing because Trumbo was a day late on that pitch. 86 miles an hour, but he's thinking, hey, with 2 strikes, I got to protect the strike zone. I can't get too aggressive here.
When you watch a hitter take a foul ball like that, you know what they're sitting on.
Breaking ball.
They're sitting on breaking ball. Well, you can go fastball.
Ground ball to short, deep in the hole. Escobar, what a play. Wow, he's done it with the bat, and here he does it with his arm. On the money to first to record the first out of the inning.
What a night for Escobar. He's been on base 4 times, drove in a run last inning, and now flashing some leather. Not just the leather, but the arm. Gauges that he doesn't have time to plant that right foot, so he says, you know what, I'll just throw with all my arm, and makes it all the way across the diamond to get the out.
Remember when Escobar first came here, he had the habit of tapping his glove. He would make that play and tap his glove before he threw it. Brian Butterfield identified that as a concern, and to his credit, Yunel has eliminated that move, and it saved him a lot of time.
Yeah, wouldn't have got the out if he did that.
Alberto Callaspo. Callaspo's 0 for 3 tonight. He had a 2-hit game last night. In the second with 2 outs.
Looked like it might have been a cutter on the inside part of the plate. They wanted to go away, but the ball was up just a little bit too much, and Callaspo took it out for his 5th home run. He's got some power.
Lines this one into left field. That's his first hit of the night. It comes with 1 out here in the 8th. So Howie Kendrick will come to the plate. Kendrick batting 7th in the Angel lineup. It's a 6-5 Blue Jays lead. The Angels have out-hit the Jays 12-9. Get me over a breaking ball for a strike.
Callaspo not really a threat to steal over there at first base. Doesn't have a very big lead. Does not have a stolen base attempt this year. So Darren Oliver could concentrate on that batter.
Jason Frazier is loosening up. Frazier worked in the game last night. He pitched 2/3 of an inning, came on in the 7th inning, and was able to get out of that inning. Able to base hit, but struck out Mark Trumbo to end the inning. An off-speed breaking ball, and Kendrick is in the hole.
A bit of a wild swing right there from Kendrick. He's got a controlled swing. Likes to punch the ball the other way. I think Darren Oliver knows that, and went to that big sweeping breaking ball.
This time he threw the breaking ball away. So Oliver basically is a fastball breaking ball pitcher, but he cuts the fastball. He throws the breaking ball to both sides of the plate, and he throws it at 2 different speeds.
2 different speeds. He can throw one a little bit harder. He's got one to upset the timing when he takes a little something off. So it's almost like he's got 5 or 6 different pitches out there, all with good command.
This is where Oliver wants something to happen on this pitch. He doesn't want to go to 3-2. And give Callaspo a running start at first, even with 1 out. Breaking ball was fouled off at the plate.
Had him set up for that one, and Kendrick just got a piece of it. We've seen a lot of pitches now from Darren Oliver. Starting to get the feel for what he's trying to do to him. He's only faced him 3 times before this at bat.
Tried to catch that inside corner and missed. It's a full count now with 1 out. Here's where Mike Scioscia has started the runner all night long.
And it has really paid off for him. Scored a run a couple of innings ago with Albert Pujols driving in with a double.
Callaspo at first, not running. Ground ball. Laurie to second for 1. Back to first. Double play. They didn't start the runner, and Laurie is able to start the 5-4-3 double play. Inning ending. The Jays hold on to a lead. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn from the Blackberry Broadcast Studio here at Rogers Center. Little League Canada. It's this Saturday at Subway Field. It starts at 9 a.m. and runs until 1 p.m. The cost is $40 and kids receive a t-shirt and a hat. Dwayne Ward will be the lead instructor. For more information, visit BlueJays.com/baseball academy. The Toronto Blue Jays are proud supporters of amateur baseball across Canada. New pitcher for the Angels will be the left-hander Hisanori Takahashi. Jordan Walden pitched the 7th inning and gave up the go-ahead run. And now Takahashi will make his 26th appearance of the season.
All the breaking balls that you'll get from Takahashi, curveball, slider, move the ball in and out. But he throws strikes. Be ready for it. He doesn't have that power arm out of the bullpen. He's a lot like Scott Downs from the left side. He depends on deception and movement on his pitches to get batters out.
So he'll deal with the left-hander Adam Lim. It'll be Lind, Arancibia, and then back to the top of the order, Brett Laurie. Lind's 3-run home run came in the 4th inning. Blue Jays scored 5 runs in the 4th, and A single run in the bottom of the 7th. Lynn hit well against lefty pitching in the minor leagues. Got a couple of home runs. Drove in 10 runs. He was just trying to get some timing and some rhythm while at Las Vegas. 2 balls and a strike.
He was telling us in Boston also he finally felt good when he went up there. He was trying all kinds of stances and thoughts and everything like that. And that's the beauty about going down to the minor leagues. You go down there and you can try things. He shot a ball to left center field and he felt like, hey, I'm back. When he's hit line drive right over the shortstop's head, that's when he's got his good stroke going.
What you have to do against Takahashi is he's going to work that outside corner and throw you a lot of breaking ball. Full count. Blue Jays would love to get some insurance run here in the bottom of the 8th. The Angels in the top of the 9th will send Ibar Hester and Mike Trout to the play, 8-9-1 in their batting order. So it wouldn't hurt to have a little cushion.
Yeah, it never hurts to get a little extra. You can almost guarantee that he's going to try that fastball away from Adam Lynn.
Lynn leading off the inning. Has struck out, homered, and walked tonight. There's a shot down the left side, but that's going to slice into the seats.
The all-new 2012 Honda CR-V. Yeah, it does that. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
24,538 fans on hand here at Rogers Center. Then drives this ball to the left, and it's got a chance. Home run, Adam Lynn. A 2-homer night for Lynn.
Takahashi kept throwing fastballs down and away, and the timing from Adam Lynn kept getting better and better. Fouled one way down the left field line, then got a little bit closer, and then went down and got it. Watch this one, down and away, and he stayed right over it. That's the swing that we saw a couple of years ago when he had his big season. Line drive right over the shortstop, and it just keeps carrying.
Well, that's a beautiful swing right there, and he had a good at bat. Takahashi stayed outside, and then stayed with him.
6th time that a Blue Jay has had a multi-home run game this year.
It's all in the haircut. Boy, that is a great sign for the Blue Jays to get Adam Lynn back with that power stroke.
That's the one thing that could really go a long way to help this team offensively even more. Some left-handed power.
The 8th multi-home run game for Adam Lynn. His first since September 18th last year. Arancibia, fair ball down the left field line. That bangs into the wall. Arancibia is headed for second. Nobody out here in the bottom of the eighth. Blue Jays lead by 2. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. How about that? The rarity to have one, and he gets 2 within 2 weeks.
That should put his average over 300. It's having a great year for Arizona.
Brett Laurie has gone 0 for 4 tonight. They're right on the money with Aaron Hill. Hitting .303 now.
303?
4 for 4, scored 2, drove in 3. His home run is 11th. And he now has driven in 38. Having a pretty good year.
I've been watching him the last week or so in the newspaper, watching his average 270, then the 280. There's Stacy Jansen. He is up and ready to go. And 290. 4 hits should put him over 300. It does.
Stacy Jansen is standing by. Bouncing ball, big hop to Cayaspo, but he had the battle of lights. Stayed with it, and Laurie's retired. Cayaspo, when that ball took a high bounce off the turf, looked right into that bank of lights.
Yeah, that is a bad feeling right here. You see him kind of twist away from that. The ball gets up in the lights like that, and you just throw your glove out there and hope that that's where it's going to come down. It does, and he can get the out.
J.P. Arancibia at second base after his double. Slow breaking ball. Rasmus fouls it back. This has been a rarity since Rasmus and Laurie have hit the top of the order. Tonight they're 0 for 9. We haven't seen that at all. But for the Blue Jays, the rest of the batting order has picked up the slack.
Adam Lynn, a couple of home runs now at the bottom of the lineup. L.J. Davis also a couple hits.
Yunel Escobar, 3 hits and a pair of RBIs. Yunel's had a good night at the plate. He's been on base all 4 times he's come up. Adam Lynn has had a 4 RBI night for the first time this season. Last year he had a pair of 5 RBI games and 1 4 game with 4 RBIs. Rasmus hung in there on that breaking ball and hammered it foul. Hester with a good block on that breaking ball. Bautista on deck. Jose had a double. He came in to score in the 4th inning. He scored the first Blue Jays run tonight. Arancibia, with his 11th double of the season, is at second base.
What an at bat. Hanging tough against the lefty.
Strikes out. Off-speed pitch from Takahashi. 2 down.
Got a figure with first base open. They are either going to put Jose Bautista on and won't even give him a chance, or pitch very carefully to him.
Looks like they're going to pitch to him. 2 outs. This is what you call a rock in a hard place. The rock is at the plate. The hard place is on deck. Pick your poison.
And because Edwin Encarnacion's having a big year, Jose Bautista is going to get pitched to. This was automatic last year. They just put him on.
Now this is where Jose's been very patient too, and if he doesn't get anything to hit, he'll take the walk because he knows Edwin is delivered time and time again, as he's done tonight.
Your licks in when you get a chance, and Jose was thinking about adding to his monthly record of home runs at 14 this month.
If Bautista hits a home run, that guy will shave. Bautista didn't like that call by Mike DeMuro. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And he's got such a good eye. And when he lays off that, he thinks it's low. With the home plate umpire, have other thoughts about that? Buck is also trying to drive in some runs. He's had a big month in June. The team record for RBIs in the month is 34. That was done by Carlos Delgado back in June of 2003. Jose started tonight with 29 RBIs this month. Trying to add to it right here.
Swings and misses, and that ends the inning. But the Blue Jays add an insurance run. Adam Lind has given Casey Jansen a 2-run cushion. Lind's second home run of the night, his 5th of the season. the top of the ninth, and it's the closer, Casey Jansen, on for the 30th time this season, looking for his 9th save. Jansen worked in last night's game, was charged with a run on 2 hits, and he is trying to save this one here tonight.
Perfect 8 for 8 in save opportunities this year since he has turned over to become the closer. Just got some work in last night, needed the work.
Eric Kaibar will lead things off. It'll be 8-9-1 for the Angels. There's a strike, a ball, and a strike. Meiser Estouris has gotten the bat. He's moved to the on-deck circle. He will hit for the catcher, John Hester. Jansen has fallen behind the leadoff batter here in the ninth. He's a guy that comes out, fires, and pounds the strike zone. He's making his 9th appearance this month. Worked a total of 9 innings. He hasn't walked a batter this month.
Yeah, he comes right after you. Got great command, great control. Kaibar taking all the way right there. He says he's not a strikeout pitcher, but he gets it by being smart, by moving the ball around. He can cut that fastball to lefties on the outside part of the plate or the inside part of the plate.
Ground ball. Kelly Johnson at second. Run down. Now it's time for a preview of what's coming up on Connected. Here's Brad Fay and Jamie Thomas. That's come up next on Connected for those of you in the East in Ontario. Meiser Estouris pinch hitting for the catcher, John Hester. Hester hit a home run his last time up. That tied the game at 5-all.
That's social playing percentages right here, getting the lefty up there. Good back control. Estouris doesn't strike out a lot. He makes contact.
Jansen's ahead, 1-2.
Casey says he's not a strikeout pitcher, but he's averaging a strikeout an inning. And one of the areas where he has improved himself is against the lefties right there. He was telling me in Boston that he felt like lefties were really cheating to his fastball on the inside part of the plate. So he has started to cut that fastball on the outside part. Right there. And it has really worked wonders for him.
2 outs.
2 up, 2 down. Instead of cheating now, you've got to cover both sides, the inside and the outside.
Mike Trout has a hit in 4 at-bats. He has extended his hit streak. Takes his strike. He has a career-high 11-game hit streak now. That's the longest by a Major League rookie this season. 0-2.
Casey Jansen's really taken to this closer's role, hasn't he?
Throws strikes.
Those strikes. He's got 3 pitches that he can use to get you out with. there, but Trout very patient.
Jansen, the fourth Jays reliever to work tonight. Casey Jansen picks up his 9th save with a 1-2-3 ninth inning and a couple of strikeouts. The Blue Jays have evened the series at a game apiece. Yunel Escobar with the game-winning RBI, and how about Adam Lynn? 2 home runs, a 4 RBI night for Lynn.
Villanueva goes 5 innings, Richmond an inning, Cordero 2/3, Oliver, they piece it together. Jansen finishes it off. Blue Jays 11 hits in the home run. A big part of tonight's game again, Adam Lynn with a multi-home run game.
Well, the Blue Jays with a game apiece now against the Angels in the 4-game series. We'll be back here tomorrow afternoon. Eastern Ontario, stay tuned for Connected. Western Pacific, Mets and Dodgers joined in progress.